we going, everyone? Just coming out for a little quick tour to see what's going on up here. Have a look. These are our citrus. 6 citrus, I think it is, we planted. I keep forgetting what we've got in the gardens. And the catnip that's taken off, what a sight for sore eyes. The purples come up. Now we'll cut back to a couple of shots earlier in the season, a few months ago, so you can see what it looked like beforehand. Not bad, huh? Well, that's what it looks like, and it's come a long way. So all I've done here is, like I said to you in the past with citrus trees, they need good drainage. They love their water. And see the cupping up here? This is cupping up now. Today I got up to 29 degrees. These were only irrigated about 4 hours ago, but they haven't seen water for at least 4 or 5 days. So in other words, twice a week on average we water them, if that, sometimes less. The weather's been pretty cool in summer, so don't be out there with a hose too often, but don't be too relaxed and forget to water, because the garden can dry up pretty quickly. Now tomorrow's 34. I'm going to give this another burst. And another example to know when your plant needs water is a wilt. It actually wilts a little bit, depending on the type of plant that is. You might have the leaves that just sort of droop a little bit like that. That shows you the signs that it needs some water. Or the plant starts to flatten out. This catnip here is growing and stretching a little bit. That's a little bit open in the center, but come over this way. These are the ones I noticed earlier. Now this is because of the lack of water. This is not because it's grown too much. These were sitting much further upright. We didn't water this at all for 5 days, like I said earlier, and today was the first sign with the hot weather that we got of it opening up. No harm to the plant whatsoever. The bees are still loving it. They're getting plenty of flowers and pollen off the flowers. So we've given this a hydration, and that will start to set up by early tomorrow morning. Citrus, you gotta love them. I love them. I'll show you the other ones, the ones that are looking like they were about to die. Standard kumquat, mandarin in the background's kicked off, and that orange that was completely yellow, it's like it's seen a ghost, has really come good too. And that's because we're liquid feeding them all the time, and I mean every 2 weeks. And that's something I talk about regularly on the program, whether it's on radio or just on these social pages that we do. It's important to feed your garden, and we have a cycle. We can feed every 3 months for larger plants, evergreens, trees and shrubs, and smaller plants, they need to be regularly fed. Like your vegetables, your chilies, your garlics, anything that's going to be a seasonal plant. If you haven't composted well at the beginning, that's the first error you're going to make. The second stage, and we're getting ready now to start our autumn range, so sit back because we're going to start talking about preparing your garden bed for autumn, sowing seeds and all the different ranges that we're going to bring out to share with you. But you've got to feed it, you've got to prepare the garden bed well, and you need to liquid fertilise, whether you use ours or anybody else's that you have already in the shed, or you favour something else, that's fine, as long as you give your plants what it needs, because they do grow fast and they need to draw up those nutrients as fast as they can and store it in so they can protect themselves. Feed the earth, feed the plants, and they will look after themselves. I don't do any spraying, and I talk about making your own home brew or some eco-friendly insecticides and fungicides. But if you don't need to spray because you're looking after your plants well, that is all you need to do. And most times, if I see a problem like those tomatoes over there that have been struggling, and I haven't spoken to you about how I've recovered them so far, it's been 3 or 4 days, maybe more, since we pruned some of them back and started feeding them. I've also scratched the surface. They still need a little bit of a clean, but there's some strong new growth on top. As bad as they were, if I can remind everybody, they got bad soil to start with, and unbeknown to us, the soil was slightly contaminated. They got watered in with a watering can that was contaminated again with Slasher, a herbicide. So they survived that ordeal. They got snowed onto. So we've got to recap on the experiences these poor plants have endured. So the snow, Slasher, wrong bad soil. We've been fertilising and cleaning them up, and now we've aerated the soil a little bit. I've scarified the surface so I can get the air to get back into it, because we're surrounded by weeds here. It's a beautiful warm environment, but a really bad environment down below, meaning it's surrounded by English box. There's kikuyu grass trying to grow in here. We've got cardboard underneath to smother the weeds, and we're trying to grow these in a handful of soil like that. So no wonder why they're struggling. You look at them and you think, why are they going so difficult after everything that I've explained? But there's some good growth on top. Now, we've had a lot of tomatoes. I haven't been able to harvest one off here because of the bloody birds or rats or mice, whatever it is. And there's some decent sizes on here. So any of these come any, get to ripen properly, I'll get to harvest them and enjoy them. I'm not even going to share the seeds on these ones, because these are, they've seen too much in life, and I dare say the seed won't be as good as I'd like it to be in the next season. But nevertheless, I'm giving it a go. I've just talked it up a bit here. hoping these do come good because we're going to come back in a few days, and if they come backwards again, I'm going to have to eat my words. But in the meantime, let me show you my big Malacca. Not too bad, eh, folks? They're pretty good tomatoes. Now, not as big as Marianthi's. Now, she picked her tomatoes, she bought her seeds off us and all the wonderful goodies to be able to grow a garden big, strong and healthy. And she's got a really big tomato. Check it out.
0?
Yeah, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, okay.
Put the thing on.
Ready?
You stay
Put it
there.
on.
Don't cover the numbers.
Can you see the numbers?
That's all right.
Let it go.
2 450.
0 tetra. Oh!
2 kilate 385 grammaria.
Not bad, huh? 2.3, 2.4 kilos in weight. That's ridiculous. Now, we have got a Facebook group where you can join us if you want to share your big tomatoes. Now, they don't have to be as big. Well, I don't know if they're going to be as big as Marianthi's tomatoes. Will you relax? Come on, settle down. Look at this little Malacca. Stop it. Behave. Stop hitting me. He's growing fast. If you want to join the page, folks, it's the big Malacca tomato competition. Share your biggest tomatoes, weigh them out there. Unfortunately, I think Marianthi's already won the comp, but again, she's an administrator, so we'll just bypass her. That's an example of what you can do, and I'm going to try and give it a go. I reckon I'll get over a kilo, but not to 2 kilos, that's for sure. And we're going to be doing a live Q&A this afternoon, so don't forget to join us around 4:30. It'll go for up to an hour, no more than that. Share all your tips, advice and questions with me real time, and I'll try and help you as best I can. We'll talk all things about gardening from spring, summer and heading into now autumn with our fruit trees and vegetables. Check it all out on our website as well. We've got some great specials running there for everybody, so you can grow some big tomatoes, big boys like this one here, and enjoy some healthy produce straight from your garden, because you know everything we supply and we produce for you is certified organic. From me, Vasily, it's vasilisgarden.com. From me, Vasily. Mate, you got to stop that, mate. You got to stop that.